What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review of this week's episode of My Hero Academia. But before we get to that, I just want to discuss some quick movie news that just dropped yesterday. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, you know I was retweeting the shit out of it. And it is the fact that in the new Halloween reboot, I think it is, I believe if I remember correctly, this is a sequel to Halloween 2, but it's forgetting every single other movie. It's forgetting H2O, it's forgetting Resurrection, 4, 5, 6, 3, it's forgetting everything. And in the news is that Jamie Lee Curtis is coming back to reprise her role as Laurie Strode from the Halloween franchise. And I gotta say, I'm hot. I'm hot. You guys know I love me some You guys know I love slasher movies, and I absolutely love the Halloween franchise. And I'm hyped. I'm curious. And now I also remember that John Carpenter may be coming back to compose the score. If he is, shut up and take my money. Take my money now. Just take it. Take it. If he is coming back to, oh my god, I cannot wait to see what he comes up with now, because we all know the legendary Halloween, horror greatness it is. But yeah, enough of the movie news. Let's talk about this week's episode of Hero Academia. So we start this episode off where we left off, pretty much exactly where we left off last week with, Uraraka and the French dude, or the dude who thinks he's French, and then, they're hiding there, like, holding onto those rails, and, I forget the dude's name, it's like that astronaut dude that has a court that can act as a wormhole, and, he's training, and he or she, whatever, I forget what gender he is, and he's trying to suck him in. And then, the French guys like, you were thinking that what Deku would do in this situation. Do you like him? And then we find that Uraraka, when registers her rights, you're like, let's go to the rail, grabs her cheek because she's all red and blushes and shit. And, and then, they close, and then, the astronaut, I forget his name. He closes it, because you know how dangerous that thing is, it's a wormhole. So she closes it, doesn't make sure she doesn't even and then Uraraka, when she's just about to hit her, right about to hit her, she actually she remembers Gunlock's training, and and then her eyes roll the back of her head. She's like, oh, and she punches him, but purposely misses and uses the momentum of him to grab her down to the ground, and then the French grabs the other arm, and she's like, oh. I'm like, why are the eyes there? And everyone's sure, and then we get to Kaminari's matchup, and Kaminari and I forget her name. I forget her name, but she's a chick that uses acid. I forget her name. It was she said. I know it started with like an SHI, and they're going against principal, where we have to get a little bit back to the principal, and the man's freaking insane. I'll probably use this as a thumbnail to this video, but, they think that they got nothing to worry because, how small he is, and we don't even really know what his quirk is. And so, but he's actually accessing Crane using chain reactions, and he's just destroying the whole, plant. And he's just destroying everything. It's destroying building close and off their routes to the exit. And while he's trying to teach these kids about intellectual villains, villains like All For One, who are who watch by the sidelines working this chess match, being the puppet master. She's pretty chasing about that, and this dude, he's destroying shit with his crane, and the dude is laughing maniacally while drinking his tea, and we find out some backstory about it. I think his quirk is called High Spec, where we found that the dude was actually an animal, Recovery Girl drops some knowledge on us that he was actually tested a lot by humans, and eventually through the test he, learned, became smarter than a human, and so he's kind of and him, and him losing his purpose, just going insane right now is him, relieving the pain and showing up, hey, yeah, you made me go through all these names as humans, now I'm the one making you go through, so the time ends up expiring, they failed their match. So then we get back to Deku. Ochako shows up, goes to the door, goes back to where Deku and everyone was chilling, watching the matches, and everyone's like, yeah, you're congratulating, we got Sue, we got Ida, congratulating on winning the match, and then Sue asked, and then I believe it was Sue that asked him, or it might have been Momo. Yeah, I think it might have been Sue or it was Ida. Asked them like, so what were you and the French dude talking about the match? And Uraraka's like, oh, we were talking about that noise. Like, no, it was nothing about the cliche answer, like when someone has like whenever someone's liking someone else and then they always like lose their shit to like waving their arms around like a madman. And Sue picks up on this. She's like, oh, you thought there was something, did you, Ochiko? And I'm like, Sue knows. She knows that she likes Deku. She knows. At least I'm guessing she knows, judging from the way she acted. Or she at least has her theories. She at least has. So then we get to Jiro and Koba's match, and they're going against Type Mike, I think his name is. Yeah, or Mike. I think his name is Mike or Mike. The guy that's usually. The guy that's, usually with a razor head that's always doing, like, explain the quirks to people whenever a new person with a quirk is revealed. They always say, like, Joro, his quirk, he's like, his quirk, sail, or something, like, And this time, actually, for him, we actually had a razor head doing his explain, he's like, here he is, this is what his quirk is. We had a razor head doing it this time. And so, and we know that Koba's quirk is that he actually can control him, which I believe is actually the first time we've actually known that, because I don't recall him ever being ever showed in season 1. So we then find, while Razor explained the quirk, we found that Mike's quirk pretty much that he can hit, it obviously deals with sound, where he can hit very high pitches and very low tones. In other words, he can pretty much wreck anybody's ears. So, and he's like, screaming, like, hey! Hey! Like, and his giant sound waves are, like, hitting them, they're, like, falling them back, and then, Jiro asks Koba, you can control Elward, and then she comes up with a plan, and then she finds his aunt, and she's like, she can control, can you control bugs? And he says, it's possible, but he's speaking in sign language for some reason, when later on in the episode we know completely that he can totally talk, perfect English, or perfect Japanese, I guess, with English subtitles. So I don't know why he was speaking to Jiro in sign language for us, but it's possible. So then she uses her headphone jacks, and then headphone, whatever those things are called. She steps into the rock, blows it up, and then and then he just he's scared shitless. He's trembling. Then we get this quick, and Jiro's like like support him, like you can do it. Come on, you're a hero. Come on, you can do it. And then we get this quick flashback to him and his mom when he tells them that he got into UA. So then he finally grows some balls, and gets in there. We got centipedes, we got worms and shows like centipedes. Listen, every time I think of a centipede, I immediately think of Tokyo Ghoul, the scene with Jason, with Kaneki, when Jason puts those centipedes in Kaneki's ear. Like, every time I see centipede, that's all I think about. and also the human centipede, but that's off topic. So, he said, and he gets over there, the buzz starts. Also, one thing I'm actually forgot to mention is actually while, Jiro's like, helping him all and supporting him, we actually noticed that there was actually blood coming out of her ears because, this dude's screaming so loud, and actually, yeah, because actually when Eraser was explaining the quirk, in the usual way that Mike would usually do in this show, he was actually like when he was born, he was crying so loud that blood was coming out of his parents' ears and the doctor's ears. Yeah. So we know then that's what also helped him out, finally grow some balls, talk to bugs. So then the bugs come, so he's like, we're like, what are they doing? Are they just gonna wait till the time expires? So then the ground starts, so the bugs come out of underground right by his feet, and they all start climbing up them, and he's like, bugs, this is why I hate forests. And then we hear him scream, and then everyone has this, like, very disgusted looking, like they're about to vomit look on their faces, like, that's a little harsh, Koba. And then we see foam coming out of the dude's mouth. So I don't know what did he do to him. I low-key want to know. I hate it when shows do that, when, something very, graphic happens, and they cut away and they don't show it to you, because I know some of you guys are like, oh, you don't need to see, but I'm the kind of one, I want to see everything, the character see it. I want to see it, too. I'm like, come on, let me see the blood, or whatever. But that's just me. Guys. So they walk out, walk outside the exit, and they leave. So they pass. So then we get to Toru and Shoji's match. The invisible chick and the guy with the multiple arms. So we get their match, and they're going against the gunslinger dude. And so, they're pretty much, they don't really have much of a plan. And then he's just firing where they're pretty much covering, just like, hey, you guys are gonna come out? I'm coming for you. Then he drops a smoke bomb. Or a smoke grenade, creates a giant smoke screen. He's walking, then they separate, and then actually, we also have Invisible takes off her gloves and her shoes off, so now she is completely invisible. Like, we can't see, so, which also very much confirms that that's all she's wearing. She's just wearing the gloves and the boots. She ain't wearing no clothes under anything else. So then she grabs him and cuffs him, and then she's like, Sensei! And he's like, and then when his arm is like right where she is when he cuffs him, she's like, bounce. And she's like, Sensei, you touched my wrist! I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. And then they pass their test as well. So then we get to Minata's test where he and Sojiro, I think I forget the dude's name, but he's a tape guy. I think it was like Sojiro or something. And they're going against Midnight. And then we start with his matchup. He's like running away, crying, and being chased by Midnight. And then later on, while everyone's like surprised that he's already given up. But one time after we have a quick look at Midnight, where she has a Sojiro like sleeping on her lap because her quirk is that she can make anyone fall asleep with like the fragrance that she can summon from her body. And so when he looks at that, he starts crying blood. Yes, he's crying blood. And it's all like little bits about it. Like when some anime characters are crying, they over exaggerate and they're like, pretty much just crying fountains. Just imagine that was blood. It sounds like, God damn. So he's running away, he's running, and then Midnight's like, oh man, run for me, run, scream for me. It brings out my sadistic side, and I can't help it. So then we find that Midnight actually had a plan that was, get her away, far away from the exit, and use his quirk, and he starts. And use his quirk, because we have learned in I think it was like a couple weeks ago that Midna is a very smart character. I mean, he was in like the top 10, or I think he was in the top 10 of his class when the exams came. So we know he's smart, and and his quirk can be useful given in the right circumstance in the right hands. So, and he uses his quirk. He pretty much hides behind a rock. And she's wearing, and then he comes out of the rock. He has his tape on his mouth, so he can't breathe it in. And so he's just throwing his balls at her. Pause. Alright, so he's throwing them at her. And he's like, he's throwing them at her, making on a whip and shit, make sure she can't move her whip, and he runs, passes her, and then just takes the tape off so he can finally breathe again, and grabs him, and then they walk through the gate and they pass. Very clever plan. And so then we get to around the end of the episode with Deku and Katsuki Bakugo ready to face off against. Oh my God, is next week going to be hype? It's going to be hype, guys. I mean, and the preview for next week is lit. Yeah, I am so hyped for this. And the title of next week's episode has got to be even more. You know what it's called? It's called Katsuki Bakugo Origins. Yes, we're going to get Bakugo's Origins next week. Oh, that's going to be awesome. Guys, you guys don't know how hyped I am for next week's episode. Oh, man, I'm really curious if Bakugo and Katsuki and, Deku are going to work together against, and I'm curious if Deku's going to use, All Might's a weakness, that giant hole he has, like in the stomach area. I wonder if he's going to use that to his face. Probably not, because Deku was too much of an All Might fanboy to really hurt him that much, but he might use it in the long. He might end up using it. He might use it. He might not. We'll find out next week, man. Man, I'm real curious about Bakugo's Origins. That's going to be interesting. So yeah, guys, final verdict for this week's episode. I am going to give it a 10 out of 10. Excellent episode, great art animation from course, Studio Bones, the Ghost, and seeing us, as always, stay tuned because for my review of the Reflection, and also and I know you guys said I expect Stephen King's It review, 2017. We're actually going to see the movie tomorrow. My mom has has horseback riding class later on today for some reason. I don't know when she wants to go horseback riding. And my brother got homework, he got like band practice or something. So that's gonna come to turn. Well, at least now I can take the time to actually watch the original TV miniseries for Stephen King's from the 90s because I've actually never seen it. So I think I got it on my DVR, so I can probably just go watch that instead of get something if related and watch because I'm very curious how the miniseries was, and then I can actually compare it in my movie review how Stephen King's 2017 is to show you guys seeing the differences in which one and which version of the movie I prefer. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new, follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you feel like it, and as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.